Super Bowl week, baby. Eagles about to do their damn thing against them Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go.
Going on, everybody, man, and welcome to the very first episode of The Truth, where not all Eagle fans agree on everything, and this is definitely the spot where this shit about to go down.
Oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only the best, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going.
This is why we started this, because of you. We started this. I'm trying to listen to your fantasy that you living in right now. Always talking about 17 no until proven otherwise. BS!
I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like the
You know what I mean?
I was pretty close last year thinking like we could have easily won those 3 games.
I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing.
Right? Did you not beat ourselves those 3 games?
Look, we lost.
Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving.
Yeah,
I put it all to start, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah. I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah.
Here we go.
Super Bowl week.
The wait is over. That's it. No more wait. We've been waiting 2 years to get our back, and now we are here. All right, so I can't wait. Sunday can't come fast enough. What's going on, Chuck?
Man, you know what time it is, man. Just we gotta do y'all like we did the Niners, man. That's what time it is right now. So
If you got that mentality, you already lost, my guy. Because we definitely ain't the Niners.
I mean, I can say the same thing for y'all if y'all gonna blame the refs when y'all lose.
I don't blame the refs. I don't blame the refs at all. God damn it.
All right.
Look, all we were saying the last time we played, the refs should just kept it like the same way it was the whole game. They chose the wrong time to throw a flag. And that's what people is talking about. It's not the fact that they threw the flag. It's the fact that they didn't throw it the whole game. And all of a sudden, when Kansas City is in trouble, it's 3rd down, incomplete, there's a flag, and that's what sealed the deal. That's all we're saying. And that's throughout the Kansas City, I guess, over the past couple years. Remember, the Patriots to do the same thing. Matter of fact, the year that the Patriots went to the Super Bowl, I believe that flag on Kansas City after for like a stupid flag that nobody was calling. That's all we're saying. We just want a fair game. If you're going to call the flag, start it from the jump, not at the end on the most crucial time. That's all it is, man. What's your thought on the whole flag situation, Chuck?
I mean, look, man, before I get to that, man, I mean, your boy said he held Juju and you saw the replay. Like, they had no choice but to throw the flag, man. It is what it is, bro.
I mean, that's after the game. That's a press conference.
But still, though, he admitted it. Like, it was the right call. But the stuff right now, man, I mean, it's ridiculous, man, because at the end of the day, all that stuff's been debunked, man. Like, it's nowhere near true. And people say, like, it's the timing of the calls. Like, even that got debunked. So, like our scores, we're like 17th as far as like getting help with scoring drives in the National Football League. So the whole ref thing, It's ridiculous, man. Why can't people just accept the fact that we're a good, disciplined football team? Why can't people just?
That's not the truth. Everybody know when you're in your golden years. Remember Jordan when he's in golden years, Brady when he hit Montana, when he's Aikman when they're in your golden years, the refs seem to favor you a little bit more than others. Let's just say that. But I ain't gonna even talk about that because everybody keep going back to the last time we played y'all in the Super Bowl. Damn that. We beat y'all ass last year. Okay? So forget that Super Bowl win that y'all got luckily. Everybody keep going way too far back in their mind. They're going way too far back. They're going, oh, Super Bowl. Well, what does the Eagles got to do to beat the Chiefs? We beat them last year handily, okay? And we got a better team than last year this year. We melted down last year. This team's ready to go. We primed for a Super Bowl championship this year. Like I said before, I predicted 14-3, and I said this time. Because you're right. Last time we were on here when the Chiefs did win, I said 14-3, we're going to the Super Bowl. I forgot to clarify what I really wanted. So this time I said 14-3, and we're winning the Super Bowl, and that's about to happen this week in New Orleans.
Sound good. We'll see. It sounds good. Saquon the Savior, right?
No, you know what's so big about that? See, I love it when you guys say, oh, the Savior Saquon. You know, oh, now that the Eagles got Saquon, now they want to pump their chest. We've been pumping our chest for 4 damn years, okay? We've been had Jalen Hurts start ever since his man started. He's been in the playoffs, and he's been the only quarterback to lose the Super Bowl, be back in the Super Bowl again, my guy. That's my boy Jalen Hurts. So it ain't never been just about Saquon. Yes, we got a super team now, and ain't nobody stopped it all year. How many games can you remember your Chiefs? So good, so legendary, right? Sitting there for their starters out in the fourth quarter. We had like 6 of those games this year, okay? We don't play mess this year. We focus. We ready to go. We know what's at stake, and we going to hunt, baby. Let's hunt, baby. That's what we doing, baby.
I mean, I feel you, man. The Detroit Lions, they blew out 11 teams this year, and they went home one and done. So, like, just because you blow somebody out over the course of the year don't mean you're going to win the whole thing.
Wow. JC, say something. I'm about to slow, man. About to slow. He gonna compare it to Detroit, sorry ass.
Look, the only thing with Detroit, man, hey, we knew that Detroit.
He's sorry because they didn't have no damn players in the
problem is, hey, Detroit been on borrowed time all year. All year. Like, half the roster was hurt on defense. I get it. Like, Jared Goff threw five interceptions, and they won. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they were on borrowed time. Just like last year when we started 10-1, we was on borrowed time. And you see what happened when you on borrowed time. But this year, though, the Philadelphia Eagles has gotten better every game they played. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. That's about the first 5-6 games were a little rough, trying to get the scheme down on both offense and defense. But this Philadelphia Eagles team is the most complete team I have seen, even more complete than the 2022 team, defense-wise, that went to the Super Bowl younger, faster, creating more turnovers, especially in the playoffs. I believe they have 13 or 10 or 13 turnovers in the playoff alone. So this team is a whole different team. I don't know if Kansas City have faced a defense like this year, but you gave me a stat. I think you said that when Kansas City faced the number 1 defense, they still beat them. But I don't recall, if you're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles that couldn't get a sack a couple of years ago because they were slipping sliding. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say the field because both teams had a play.
Thank you.
The only thing I got to say about the field is this. The Eagles was the 3rd team in NFL history with 70 sacks. All of a sudden, they couldn't get a foot in. That's what drove them to the Super Bowl, was the fact that 4 or 5 guys on that front had double-digit sacks. It wasn't the back end. Our back end was suspect from the jump. No. But getting to the quarterback, being able to pressure the quarterback, that's what made the secondary look great. But this year, is not so much as the front four. Even if we don't get sacks, it's the back that's carrying us this year. And that's why I think that, it's going to be different. We're not going to have to rely on so much sacks than we were supposed to a couple years ago.
Yeah, but at the same time, man, y'all also had the #1 pass defense when we played y'all a few years ago in the Super Bowl. I mean,
but I just told you because of the sacks.
And that's a pass defense. We had the
Yeah.
#1 defense. We weren't a #1 defense that year. We just had the #1 pass defense that year.
Yeah, the 49ers was the #1 defense.
Yeah.
yeah, I know the Niners were a part of that stat.
Yeah, but because of the sacks a couple of years ago, which made our second pass defense look great. But once we wasn't getting sacks, and there was plenty of games where we wasn't getting sacks, where our defense was giving up, little by little, all the way down. The teams were marching down if we don't get those sacks. But this season, though, is different. We're getting sacks, but not only that, when we don't get sacks, we're still #1 in the NFL without getting sacks, passing defense, all of overall defense. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. It's a different defense. So you keep saying last time Patrick Mahomes faced the Eagles, this and that. This is a totally different defense. They're younger, they're faster. I mean, and they got both experience and youth. I mean, this defense is elite. And I don't use that word, like everybody else be using it. But this defense right here, I mean, like to be #1 in the whole NFL when you play the Ravens, when you play the Steelers, when you play the Commanders, when you play the Rams, I mean, when you play the Packers. We played 5 playoff teams this season. We played 5 playoff teams and then played 3 of them in the playoffs again. And to hold these teams and to beat them again, I mean, you got at least tip your head off to that.
Because the biggest thing is it's not even the sacks. It's the takeaways. This team is taking the ball away like every game, like 3 takeaways. I think this whole last month and a half or whatnot, we have 14, 15 takeaways. That's the biggest difference. We are a very opportune defense. Our corner's going to shut down. Our safety's going to shut you down on the receiving side. They might not have as many interceptions as we want them to have, but we definitely take the ball away with our linebackers and our, and our skill and our other position players. They take the ball away at the high level. How many takeaways we have the last 3 games alone? You know what I'm saying? The Eagles defense is not just worried about getting sacks. We're worried about getting the ball back. And this year we've gotten the ball back a lot at a way higher rate than we ever did in 22.
My bad, I hit the wrong button. Nah, but yeah, I mean, I get what you guys saying, how it is a little different from that standpoint. I mean, you guys secondary been balling all season long. I mean, Howie Roseman was on the money with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, at corner. So that was a plus right there. And Jalen Carter, he done up this game up too. He's trying to be in discussion with Chris Jones, the best defensive tackle. But I'm gonna go back to that comment with Richard. Listen, I can say the same thing about Chris Jones. If y'all double Chris Jones, y'all gonna have problems. So what are we talking about here?
But we doubled Chris Jones last time. We had no problems. See, that's what you guys keep forgetting. Like I said earlier, you forgot that we had no problems with you guys last time we played you. We had no problems with you guys.
You talking about that regular season game?
Oh, that regular season game. That's the last time we played you.
I know, but
that's all you can count.
Y'all were
Super Bowl, y'all did your thing. You got lucky. The field, whatever with the field, whatever with the cause, you did your thing. You won the Super Bowl. Very next year, y'all won the Super Bowl again. But when y'all played us, we won. We put no that.
I get that. Y'all won that game. Y'all won that game, but y'all was a drop pass away from losing that game. I mean, y'all skated away with one, but y'all did it. And but we not gonna. But we haven't forgot about that clip of Nick Sirianni talking about. I don't hear shit anymore, Chiefs fans. See ya. You don't think the players ain't been putting that in their heads all week long? You don't think they forget?
No, because y'all won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to that matchup.
You know, your coach is a little bit childish. You know, he's a little bit childish, man.
Hey, y'all trying to find anything, right? Hey, to motivate y'all to like, yeah, we're the underdogs. Y'all not underdogs. Y'all are 3-time world champs, and y'all are on a, on the cup of NFL history. Nobody gonna feel sorry for y'all. So I don't care what kind of, like clips y'all gotta pull out y'all behind and try to motivate y'all players. Guess what? We got 20 players on this team that was on the team when we lost the Super Bowl. That's also pissed off. Jalen Hurts, his demeanor this time around, even in the press conference, even with him standing next to Patrick Mahomes, this dude is serious. And for some odd reason, I saw a picture of him in the Super Bowl fumbling. So he looked at it and he shook his head like he was like, oh, say less. Like, I mean, I saw a picture of him. So I'm telling you, this dude is wired different. He's thinking about it. Chauncey Gardner was on the team. Big Play Slade was on the team. Johnson, Mariota. These boys was on the team a couple years ago. And now they got that, that anger more than y'all. I mean, hey, y'all won twice back to back. So I don't know. I guess if y'all had a motivation is to make history, a 3-peat.
Yes.
But to go against a team that's trying to win the second Lombardi, a revenge game that they think that they should have won a couple of years ago, I mean, that's a scary thing.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Jalen, he been doing his thing. And like, I don't know if it was an Eagles fan or like an Eagles reporter. I think it was an Eagles reporter that put the stat about Mahomes and Hurts saying that they not really different. You know what I'm saying? Like just when you go about the stats and everything. But when you actually look at the film, yeah, they're a lot different. Those are two different quarterbacks. They just win in their own way.
Do you see that? The stats ain't that different. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like comparing stats because I think the stats don't say it all right. Because the stats, like Hurts get his stats differently than Mahomes. Mahomes get his through, a lot through the air, a lot of broken plays. But Hurts get his, like he's the reason why we here because he get his differently, like a Lamar Jackson. Not even a Lamar Jackson. I just feel like I cannot put who
he's not in the category.
Like who he get his stats like. I mean, he just get his stats like Jalen Hurts, right? He does the dirty work, even though the brotherly shove, his touchdowns that people complain about. A 6 is a 6. Shoot, last time I checked, 6 is 6. I don't care if you get it pushing somebody or throwing it through the air. Touchdowns are all count the same. They're all 6. You don't get 8 for, shoving it in and 6 for passing it. So stats sometimes could be a little overrated. But one thing I could say that they both are winners and leaders of their team that those two teams that every player on that team will follow and will do anything for. So yeah, the stats are a little, because they both are two different style of quarterbacks.
And what I want to say is too, like a lot of people because that's what I want to do. I really want to break down the matchups that we're going through. We're gonna go quarterbacks, running backs. We're going to do all that stuff to really break down both of these teams because this is a preview show, right? So we will start with the quarterbacks. I just pulled it up, Jalen, Patty, stats looking nice, both sides, like Jalen more touchdowns, Patty's more turnovers, like the way people act like you got to lead the league in passing to win a Super Bowl. People act like that is the requirement to be a great quarterback. If you go through the history of quarterbacks that won Super Bowl, even Tom Brady had that 5,000 yard season one time when he had Randy Moss. But if you look at it in the Super Bowl, and he lost the Super Bowl. And if you look at all the others, Tom Brady was never that big guy. Especially his first 3, he wasn't putting 4,000 yards up, 5,000 yards up. He was just doing, game manager. Boom, boom, boom. He made Wes Welker, Branch and all these guys because they had a very simple offense that fit Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Then they had running backs like Corey Dillon. You know what I'm saying? Those guys up there running that rock, and they had a great defense. We have the same formula this year. You know what I'm saying? We run that rock with Saquon. We got a great defense. And Jalen Hurts don't have to. You heard him say it numerous times this year. Just because it don't look like the way you want it to look like doesn't mean it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't mean that I ain't doing my job. Doesn't mean that he's not required to do all that. You look at the times when the Eagles did last year, for example, when we started hitting the ski, the Eagles try to throw the ball, 35, 40 times. Everybody knows Jalen's sweet spot's 20 to 25 passes a game. What he gets out of it, he gets out of it. Sometimes it's really high, and sometimes it's mid-level, 190 yards. Sometimes it's 300, 325, something like that. But at the end of the day, he gets touchdowns. His touchdowns in rushing and passing the football. We got AJ Brown. AJ Brown still got 1,000 yards. Yeah, people are like he didn't get his money, his yards this year. He still got it. Even he bitching and whining and groaning and we got Saquon with 2K. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith pulled up a good, I think 700 yards, something like that this year. It's like no matter what, people are still eating, but we don't turn the ball over as much. We're more time-oriented offense. I think we are both teams are like tops in the league in terms of time possession with the football. We slow games down, and then Saquon Barkley is like home run hitter. But to get back to Jalen Hurts and Patty Mahomes, what do you think is the biggest difference between these two? You know what I'm saying? They're back again in a Super Bowl again against each other. What do you think the biggest difference in there? Like, give me some good and bad, about Jalen Hurts that you like, you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Tell a Eagles fan what we need to worry about with Patty Mahomes. Everybody, even though we know him, but what I'm saying, as a fan.
Good thing about Jalen Hurts is, on short down situations, he's pretty dependable. Like you guys already mentioned, like Bradley Chubb to tush push, whatever you want to call it. Like it's almost at 100% clip when you run that play. He's pretty reliable in that situation. But also besides that, when Saquon is getting it going and loosening up things for the offense, like when Jalen gets in the one-on-one situations, he's pretty good at hitting his targets when he gets those matchups. So there is that. And Jalen Hurts, he's also a winner. He's a proven winner. He just don't have the hardware. You know what I'm saying? He's been pretty consistent for the past few years. The thing that I have a negative with Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts, he can't go on and off script like Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen, he could take off and run, but if you got to depend on him to, get outside the pocket, make a throw on the run, it's not as good as like what Patrick Mahomes does.
But see, that's where we come into this little thing there. You say they both make off script plays. One throws the ball, one runs the ball. They still make their plays off script. So you can't say that Jalen doesn't really, make plays.
Passing.
Passing game. But you gotta look at it like Patty Mahomes is not Jalen Hurts in the running game. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't.
You're right. He's not. You're
so
right.
Obviously, Patty got to throw the football. That's what he has to do. Jalen don't have to, and Jalen does have plenty of touchdowns and first downs where he's off script throwing it. It's just that's easier for him just to run that 9 yards, run that 7 yards, get the first down. Reload those chains again and get it going. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. What I'm not saying, I'm not discrediting Patty at all. I'm just saying it's the same, and people always try to make it different. Like, oh, well, Jalen can't do like this because Patty does it like this. It's the same. It's just that they both do it efficiently. We put the numbers up since the last 3 years, since the last Super Bowl. You can see the numbers are dramatically the same. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of areas that are pretty much on point of being the same. He's the same quarterback as all these guys. You know what I'm saying? They always trying to downplay him. But, like, even when Jalen has, like, for 190, 190 passing, 70 yards rushing, he has, like, 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And the last I checked, getting touchdowns is his only damn job is to get a touchdown. Whether it's a push, he runs it, he throws it. It doesn't matter. His job is to get the touchdown, and his job is to win, like you guys said earlier. And he does both at a very high level.
But here's the thing. When Patrick Mahomes runs, it's deceptive. Like, you don't know when it's coming. So it's still very effective when he takes off. And the crazy part is his rush yards go up in the playoffs in comparison to the regular season. The regular season, he really dials it back as far as running the ball in the playoffs. If he got to take off, he's going to take off. And you see, we brought out the RPO. We brought that back last game against the Bills. And a couple of Bills players at the game said they ain't never seen that when they were studying us. So with Patrick, he's such a good passer. He's such a good quarterback. Throwing the football, you just don't. Teams don't even look for him to run the ball, but he's just so deceptive with it. And he gets a lot of chunk yardage.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Patrick Mahomes, man. He's a underrated runner, right? I don't
Especially
know.
when his
Is it
legs broken
because,
and get a shot at halftime.
I mean,
He
okay.
came out running at second half.
I
Like,
mean,
what the fuck? The boy's limping
I'm
to the
not talking
damn
about
locker
2 years.
room
I'm not
and
talking
came
about his
out
broken
running
leg.
like Bo Jackson.
Look, I'm not talking about his
What the
broken
fuck?
leg, a couple years ago. I'm talking about even this season. Like, I don't know if people are afraid to hit him or he fake like he's going out of bounds and continue getting extra yards or what it is. But there's something about once he start running, it's like, yo, the dude's not even running fast, but some way, somehow, he's getting chunk of yards. What is it, in your opinion, watching this team all year? Are people afraid to hit him? Is he that shifty that, you know what I mean, that he's juking people? Like, what is it about when he started running? Is like, ugh. You
I
can't
mean,
really stop it, but you just,
like I said, I mean, it's deceptive. You don't know when it's coming. Like, teams are used to him just throwing the ball a lot. So in playoff time, if he has to get the yards, if he has to get the first down when nothing's open down the field, then he's gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of the time when he runs the football, like the defense be having their back turned. So again, they don't expect him to take off.
yeah.
That
And I
is
do think
that
that's
is
one
a
of the
big thing.
corrections that the Philadelphia Eagles defense will make, especially if they go back a couple years ago where he did run for that big gain on like third and like long, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he just took off running right down the middle of the field. So I feel like that they will be ready for him running because he's been doing it all season long. It's not like he hasn't been running all season long. I mean, I don't know how many rushing yards he has, but you've seen enough tape to say, hey, watch out for Mahomes. Once if something is not open, he's gonna buy maybe an extra 3, 4, 5 seconds, or he gonna take off. So I think they might even have a spy on Patrick Mahomes. I'm not really sure, but if I'm Vic Fangio, like, I'm really, really focused on two guys, Mahomes and Kelsey. Mahomes only because the off script that you're talking about, once he start getting out the pocket, like making somebody miss, like either he fake he's going down, whatever it is. But I'm keeping an eye on Mahomes and Kelsey. If you could keep an eye on those two and limit the damage, I feel like that your offense is going to be sitting on the sideline a lot, watching the Philadelphia Eagles offense run the ball slowly, methodically down the field,
I mean, you say that, but it's not as easy like how y'all say it, man. Like at the end of the day, because like if you key on him running the football, he gonna find a hole in man coverage or his own. Oh man, please don't even play zone. I mean, don't even try that because that's just food for him. But at the end of the day, I would give Big Fangio this. Like, yeah, we 8-0 against his defense, but when you really peel some of the layers back,
yeah.
the only time that we even got 20 points on him as an offense, we only did that one time. And everything else, it was like 16, 13 points. I know one time he had some 3 points. So, I mean, I know why Eagles fans would be confident in that matter. But at the end of the day, like, he came over and tried to help you out 2 years ago, and it wasn't a problem. And when you look at the stats,
On the offensive side, though, he had nothing to do with the defense. He
I know.
was strictly offense. He was giving their input on the offensive side. It's been reported it was only offense, not the defensive side.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So I mean, with that being said, like, just even looking back on the games anyway, like Patrick Mahomes, he even threw over 200 yards, and he was still very effective. Like, he still threw 3 touchdown passes, and it's only because y'all held the time of possession. Like, hey, we scored a defensive touchdown, we had to go right back out there to try to stop y'all, in which we didn't. And then on top of that, we had a special teams return. Kadarius Toney got some good field position, like near the
Yeah.
5-yard line. So we was getting short distance scores for a good amount of that game. So that's why we really didn't get no stats like that on our end. So, but it's gonna be a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I respect Big Fangio. You know what I'm saying? Because like he was the Denver Broncos. He controlled that defense. He gave us some tough battles and everything. But at the end of the day, we got to cover our areas. You got to be good on offense, defense, and special teams when it's all said and done. So I got a question for y'all. Speaking of
So
that, special teams, man, I've seen that y'all like the ninth worst in kick return coverage, and we just played the Bills, who were like fifth worst. So y'all a little better than them, but like I just mentioned with the Super Bowl, we was getting great field position on certain plays. So I mean, what y'all think I'm gonna be able to do to combat that and be a little better in that area? Because it looks like it's the same thing.
let me tell you something. Numbers are skewed. Okay, we don't give up very many touchdowns. We give up some of the fewest points per game all season long, if not number one. So when you do things like that, there's not very many returns. You know, there's not very many returns. Think how many garbage time returns there were when our starters weren't even playing no more. You know what I'm saying? We were sitting people in third quarter, my guy. Third quarters of games. While our backups go out there. So yeah, you might get a big return here, a big return there, whatever. But I'm just letting you know we got a lot more returns to average all that stuff out. It probably would be bad if we were like the defense that got scored on the most, and then we still was bad in return game. You know what I'm saying? We're not though. We don't give up touchdowns. I mean, you don't get opportunities to return the football. We don't even punt that much. So it's like those numbers. I don't know. I don't really look at those numbers as being any kind of damaging report when we don't give up scores.
But also, what you're talking about, like the only return I remember, breaking our back was that Tony return. I mean, like we did a pretty good job minimizing your return game the last time we faced each other. But also, Jake Elliott, we went from whoever was kicking off to Jake Elliott. Like he was missing field goals, and then they made him kick off now. He got a big leg to kick the ball out of bounds a lot. But pretty much our return coverage has been better. You know what I mean? This season, I don't recall a lot of teams. I don't know what ninth worst is, like what they're looking at. But watching every Eagles game, I don't recall a lot of teams returning any punt or touchdown versus against us. Yes, we had a field goal block for a touchdown in the Browns game. But besides that, I don't recall a lot of teams of returning stuff on us.
Yeah.
I just know that it's like 28.6 yards per kick return. I mean, that's
I mean, you get it at the 35 if you don't even return it. So think about that. So if we giving y'all 28.6 yards, but then you get the ball at the 35, right? If you fair catch it in the end zone, whatever, that's a win. So I don't know. It's not 28 at all.
But this is the point I'm getting, bro. Like Nico Remigio, since the playoffs started, he's had two big returns in the playoffs. Like he had a big kickoff return to start the game against the Texans. Yeah, he fumbled at the end, but we got it back. And then the last game against the Bills, he had a big kickoff, big punt return. So like our special teams in the return game, it's starting to click, and I feel like we may be able to take advantage of y'all in this.
Listen. You got to score touchdowns to take advantage of the return game, or you got to stop our offense, and those two things are not very easy to do against this defense. And
but we heard y'all say that before, though.
When? Last year when we beat you guys?
Yeah, and in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, when we beat you guys. I'm not going back 2 years, guys. I can only go back, 365, my guy. And 365. We won the last time I checked, my God. It's a W for the Birds, And like I said, our defense is better and our offense are better. And I don't know, man. Jalen Hurts, like he said, he's focused, man. If you see some of these pictures, out there when you see Patty Mahomes and Jalen, I wish I had the other one on there. But even when you look at this one, look at the man's faces. Like both of them looking up at Patty's like, damn, this sucks. I'm going to lose this year. And Jalen's like, yes, it's my time. You know what I'm saying? There's another one on Twitter where Patty's looking at Jalen like, what the fuck? And Jalen's like, you know what I'm saying? There's just lots of pictures. I feel like y'all scared at the end of the day. I feel like y'all know what turn it is. I feel like y'all want to win this 3P, but it's not 100% guaranteed, my guy.
Look, nothing's guaranteed in the NFL. I agree with you on that. But just
like the players is what I'm talking about. While JC's go, let's do a clip and see what Patty is. That's Patty Mahomes, my guy, is talking about here with.
I mean, what did you really get out of that?
I mean, they're both look, they're both trying to play the game, right? I mean, they're both like, they're playing the media right now because I know exactly what Jalen Hurts want to say. Right? He want to say, look, they stole my ring a couple years ago. Look, I'm just here to get my ring back. And Mahomes be like, yeah, we want to go for the 3-peat. Ain't nobody going to stop us. You know what I mean? They both want to really say what they mean, but they trying to play cool. It is what it is. Look, whatever is said throughout these press conferences, I do not care. Sunday is going to say it all. Who's ready? Who's mentally, physically ready, prepared? I mean, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes? Who's going to make halftime adjustments? Andy Reid did last time. We didn't. I mean, it's going to come down to the little things. Who turned the ball over? That one turnover, you know what I mean? Some people say cost us, but at the same time, he still gave us 2 10-point lead, which, I don't know how he cost you the game when you had 2 double-digit leads, even after that turnover. But it is what it is. I mean, it's just going to be whoever could, limit the mistakes and finish, not start, but finish it out and close out the game.
Now let's go to playmakers, guys, because we talked about the quarterback, we talked about the coaches, we even got a little bit into defense, and we probably get a little bit more into that a little bit. But let's talk about the playmakers. Last we checked, we got a guy by the name of Saquon Barkley, right? And this guy right now is on pace for history. Look what this man's done in the playoffs. Look at that. Okay, it goes 118, 205, 119. Guess what? It's 200 again, right? If you look at the pace of what Saquon's doing in the playoffs, y'all about to get 200 yards rushed on y'all ass. He's about to break the all-time record, for most rushing yards ever in a season, including the playoffs. He's about to have a birthday, and he's about to win a Super Bowl. Everything's lined up for our guy Saquon to go out there and dominate, my guy. So how do you feel about Saquon Barkley? Because I got another guy, too, that's a KC killer. But I want to know what you feel about Saquon.
I mean, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? That's cute. Look, I know what Saquon's greatness is, man. Like, he exceeded expectations. Like, when y'all got him, when y'all acquired him, I said, he about to go crazy behind that offensive line. And he's done just that. But I got a stat for y'all, man. Ever since Steve Spagnuolo been the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, we only given up 5 runs of 50 yards or more. And it's during the 6-year tenure. Only 5 this entire time. So,
but when did y'all ever play a Saquon with the Eagles offensive line?
This will be our first time. And I understand that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't compare all them other people y'all don't play. Even y'all played us.
But hold on. But listen, Bergen, listen. Or like you just check our resume. Like Derrick Henry, he's an elite back. I know it's a different type of running back. We held him in check in the playoffs before. I mean, we held guys like Alvin Kamara in the regular season. Like he's one of the top backs in the league. He got shut down. And I know people want to go to the playoffs. James Cook had a great performance.
Listen.
Oh, let him finish, BG. Let him finish, BG.
Yeah, point to make on this one.
Let him finish, man.
Okay. We're going to get to your point. You're going to get a chance to rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Now, what James Cook did last game, yes, he had a great game, but let's talk about the explosives, all right? So he had 1 explosive run and 1 explosive reception. That was it. And then you want to go back to the Texas game. Joe Mixon, he had a third quarter in which the Texans actually grinded out that drive. Like Joe Mixon didn't have a big explosive run. He just had it was like every first down that was reset. He had like a 5-yard carry and then another 7 yards, or like 3 yards, then like another 8 yards. It was one of them type of drives. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, y'all gonna be looking for that Saquon home run. And I'm not saying Saquon can't get his. I'm just saying we're gonna make him work for it. That's all I'm saying. It's not gonna be that easy.
Hey, can you tell me what are you guys ranked in rush defense right now?
We are in the top 10 right now overall.
Are you guys better than Ravens?
So the Ravens are better on paper.
They better than Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, they better on paper.
Everybody's better on paper. What I'm saying is they did nothing against Saquon, my guy. The guy had 2K. You don't think for 20 damn weeks, defense coordinator's been up all night trying to figure out how to stop this guy. 20 weeks.
This the
20 weeks, okay? He had one game, I think, where he didn't get 100 yards. And I think we pulled him that game anyway because we were blowing the team out. Come on. Like, nobody can stop Saquon, not even no Steve Spagnuolo. It's not about just Saquon. It's about the offensive line. It's not just about the offensive line and Saquon. It's about A.J. Smitty on the outside and Goddard in the middle. It's the whole damn team that makes it unstoppable to stop the man. And I don't think y'all got it in you to stop him.
Here's the thing. Like, we was ranked 3rd in yards given up. You know what I'm saying? Like, 70.4 yards to RB1s, which was 3rd best in the league this season, right? So at the end of the day, that's a testament to our defensive line. We got big 95 taking on double teams, opening up for everybody else to stop the run. I mean, we got a minute who's been playing pretty solid. We got Karlaftis. He's been playoff George, like he's on Frank Clark for the Chiefs. You got Turk Wharton, then you got a run stopping specialist, Mike Pennell. He gonna be key in this game because he little to the task when we had to slow down Derrick Henry. So he's gonna be a factor. You got Leo Chanel, who's made our run defense a lot better because our run defense wasn't really like that last year. But this year, with him starting in the full-time role, our run defense has been a lot better. So you got him, you got Nick Bolton, who's always been good against the run. Drew Tranquil, he's been solid against the run. I mean, our front seven ain't nothing to be play around with. Just like our front seven ain't nothing to play around with. So,
and that's the difference. You talk about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was how many yards? He was what? 107 yards behind Saquon this year. He had a great year.
Best.
Yeah, that, but his line was not like Saquon's. You know what I'm saying? Like the Ravens got a good offensive line, but they don't got the Eagles offensive line. They got good receivers. They don't have the Eagles receivers. You got to game plan more. When you play the Ravens, you're going to go stop, Henry and Lamar from running the ball first. That's how you stop the Ravens. You stop that, the game's over. Okay? It's not like that for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you somewhat miraculously stop, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, you still got to deal with Smitty and A.J. Brown. Okay? And last I checked, my guy, to throw it up there, Smitty is a Chiefs killer. Okay?
He is.
Smitty is a Chiefs killer, my guy. Okay? He puts it in on the Kansas City Chiefs every time he plays them. So it ain't going to be no different this year. And if you try, I wish you would dare to play AJ one-on-one with his mentality that he's in right now. You know what I'm saying? He's locked in and focused. He don't even give a damn about the stats all the way up to the Super Bowl. But he said he even got a text from our big boy Fletch. And he gonna go out there with the thing.
I have a question for you, Chuck. So last time, in the Super Bowl, Hurts played the Chiefs. He had 70 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. So that's without a running back help at all. I mean, Miles Sanders had maybe 2 carries. So what is the difference this time with a Barkley? And y'all couldn't stop Hurts from rushing for 70 yards just by himself. And now add a Barkley in there. What is the recipe to stop not only Hurts but Barkley? That's the difference between the Allen and Cook, Lamar and Henry. Is the quality weapons around Jalen Hurts? First of all, Dallas Goedert, had a good game versus y'all last time. He had 6 receptions for 60 yards. AJ Brown 6 receptions for 96 yards. Devontae Smith 7 receptions for 100 yards. So that's a difference, right? The playmakers around. But Jalen Hurts killed y'all on the ground also, had 70 yards. Now you add a Saquon Barkley with those same weapons around. What is the recipe to stopping that? So that's all I want to know. If y'all couldn't stop Hurts by himself running, how y'all going to stop 2 people that could possibly take it anytime to the house on the ground?
I don't know what just happened there, but I didn't hear your question out of the way. It kind of froze up. So repeat the question one more time.
My question is, how are you going to stop Jalen Hurts and Barkley on the ground when y'all couldn't stop Jalen Hurts by himself on the ground the last time, y'all faced him in the Super Bowl. He had 70 rushing yards with no running back help at all. He rushed for 70 yards by himself, and now you add a Barkley with the same weapons around. How y'all gonna be, able to stop that without helping AJ Brown? He had 96 yards last time. Smith 100 and Goddard 60 yards.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Like, one thing is for certain that's true about our defense, that we have letting quarterbacks get the rushing yards, even the ones that don't really take off like that. So, that's just something we may have to live with Jalen Hurts, in certain situations. Another thing, tight ends, that's another thing that's been an issue for us all season long. I mean, Dallas Goedert, it wouldn't surprise me if he had another decent game. So, I mean, we basically been living with that all season. But as far as our corners, man, I mean, Trent McDuffie is better. He done got a couple of All-Pros on his belt now. Jalen Watson, he's starting to get back into form as a nice cornerback too. And like right before he got hurt and missed a decent amount of time, he was one of the best cornerback tools in the league. I know AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, they tough. I had them both as like in my top 10 wide receivers. So I mean, that's enough respect right there. At the end of the day, man, we just have to live with one guy getting off, maybe two. Yeah, y'all
maybe three. I mean, AJ almost had 100. He had 96 yards. Smitty had 100. Hurts had 70 yards on the ground. And now you put Barkley in there. I mean, this is not the same Eagles offense y'all face either, especially with Barkley.
And who's your nickel cornerback? Because we got a guy named Jahan Dotson who's been waiting to make his name felt, baby. Jahan Dotson waiting to be that man. You see him on stage. This is my Super Bowl, my guy. This is my Super Bowl. Jahan Dotson, baby. He scored the first touchdown this playoffs, my guy, to lead the Eagles into the first victory of the playoffs, my guy. So, hey, don't act like Jahan not a first round. Don't act like he wasn't in the.
Do you see my face right now? Did you just mention Jahan?
Okay, Jahan Dotson. Who is your third cornerback that's going to stop Jahan Dotson from balling out? Because say you get lucky and stop AJ. Say you get lucky and stop Smitty.
That's the X factor, y'all hyping up for this game. All right, man. Anyhow, at the end of the day, bro, like JJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I mean, they could get their stats again. I mean, it's possible, but what we want at the end of the day is to have Jalen Hurts have the ball in his hands way more often than Saquon, if possible. I mean, that's the goal for us because I feel like he'll be the one that's going to make the crucial mistake more than our quarterback. That's just how we feel.
I mean, hey, Jalen Hurts had the ball in his hand. MC 38 plus 15, carried a 353 times. Last time he had y'all. I mean, this we had 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 through the air. So yes, he made that one crucial mistake. Like I said, he still gave the Eagles not 1 but 2 10-point lead. So that mistake to me did not kill the game because we could not make no adjustment the second half at all. I mean, hey, y'all got we couldn't stop y'all not one drive the whole second half. So it wasn't Hurts' mistake. It was the fact that our defense, that Andy Reid made some adjustments and they saw something with the 33 minutes halftime show they got going on. Hey, NFL needs to cut that shit out. All right. Make that 10 minutes so Andy Reid won't have no time to look at no tape, halftime tape, and make
Raspberry's not starting no more.
That halftime be too long. So you got time to take your pads off, let's watch the first half, and basically make adjustments, right? And that's what Andy Reid did. It wasn't Jalen Hurts, it was the defense. But I feel like that this time around, our defense is a lot better. They get stronger as the game goes on. So if you want Hurts to have the ball in his hand, that's fine because he's gonna kill y'all on the ground. But that's not what y'all want. Y'all want him to throw the ball, right? Okay. Yeah. And I mean, he had over 300-yard passing last time he threw the ball. Pick your poison.
Yeah. That was last time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be hard to duplicate that. it's gonna be hard to duplicate what he did last time, man. That's all I'm saying. Like Jalen Hurts, could he still have a good game? Yes, but I feel like at the end of the day, he might get to a point where he got to play superhero again. And what you say about mistakes early on not cost y'all the game, I mean, the Ravens just went through that with Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. I mean, sometimes early mistakes do come back to bite you in the end. Like, it's just part of the game.
But how did that mistake, though? I mean, all right. I mean,
because you got to play perfect football against us.
Yeah, but it wasn't that mistake. It was an ability to make adjustments the second half. We had a 10-point game in the third quarter. We had a 10-point lead in the third quarter. So it wasn't that mistake that happened in the first half that we went into halftime with 10-point lead. It was the fact that the defense wet the bed. Jonathan Gannon had his, head coaching hat on the sideline, you know what I mean? Because the Cardinals already had named him head coach. He wasn't focused, and Andy Reid took him to the shed and whooped his ass. That's what happened. It has nothing to do with the offense. We put up, 33 points on y'all? Like, whatever it is. 35 points. 35. So it wasn't the offense at all. It was the defense. If you score 35 points in the Super Bowl, you're going to win that game besides, the Patriots. You know what I mean? And you're going to win that game. You should. If your defense is worth a damn. We ain't getting out one sack, nothing. It was the defense. And that's why I'm so confident this time around that our defense is so much better in the back half. And the front half alone. All right, talk to me about your offensive line. Where is the weakness at on your offensive line?
The weakness right now is Mike Kelly in the left guard. Joe Thuney, the coaches asked him to play left tackle for the remainder of the season and into the playoffs. And it's helped Patrick be the most comfortable he's been all season long. So like, even with Patrick Mahomes being a little more comfortable throwing the football, we lost a little bit in the run game with Mike Caliendo left guard as a result. He's been doing the best he can, you know what I'm saying? But there's been times where I look at his reps, I'm like, bro, your hands are a little too wide, bro. You get your hands inside just a little bit more. If you get your hands inside just a little bit more, you'll have a better chance at winning your rep. And I've seen that quite a bit in these playoffs so far. I even saw last game, he got picked up like he was like a feather or something. I was like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, we're in the bowl now, but I just need to be a little better, just for this big game, because I already know at some point Fangio is going to try to put Jalen Carter over there. Because, I mean, he's going to start with Jordan Davis on that side, but at some point he's going to adjust and put Jalen Carter.
JD got a sack last week.
Yeah. I mean, no boys are good, man. But like I said, we got D tackles too. At the end of the day, that's our weakness on the offensive line right now.
Well, let's get to your playmakers too. And before we do, let's hear the two top playmakers.
All right.
Scott, back over to you. A Super Bowl.
So tell me about your playmakers. Start with Travis Kelce. What do you think he's going to be able to get open like you think, like he normally does with the, we got Cooper DeJean now in the slot. We got, CJ in the secondary back there that's going to be probably covering them some of this game. And maybe even a little bit of Reed Blankenship, who's, he's a pick master. He always seems to, he might get burned, but if you burn him, he comes back and he gets an interception on you. So how do you feel Travis and the rest of these guys? Because you got a lot of players over there that I don't think people really are really talking about, like Worthy. That was an awesome draft pick by you guys. That speedster out there. He runs great routes. He's one of the fastest men in the NFL. You got doubled up on it. You got Hollywood Brown from the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Another speedster. So you got two speed demons, on that offense. With my boy from USC, Juju went back home. Juju went back home. I love Juju. I don't care what anybody say. I'm a USC fan. I watched him play at USC. I love him. Juju went back home, and he's actually been pretty clutch this playoff. So tell the Eagle fans about your playmakers, and let's go from there. Let us know what we need to worry about. Why we need to worry about it.
All right, so let's start off with Big 87, arguably the GOAT at his position at tight end. All right, so here's the thing, man. Like Travis Kelce, man, y'all better pick our poison, man, because if y'all gonna put Oren Burks on him like the Niners did, like the Niners had to do when Dre Greenlaw got hurt, it's gonna be barbecue chicken all night. Cause Travis Kelce did that boy so bad in that Super Bowl last year when he had to replace Dre Greenlaw. So I would definitely try to put have a better shot with Cooper DeJean or any of the options you want to put out there. So I'm gonna start there. The next thing with is Xavier Worthy, man. Speed demon, been lining him up all over the field. No matter where it's jet sweep or we hit him with a slant or it was like a little sluggo. I mean, the deep ball with him, it wasn't connecting for the most part this year, but I feel like as we got into playoff football, you started to see the chemistry get a little better with Patrick and Xavier overall. So he's definitely going to be a key in this one because I know like his snap count has gone up, and as a result, his production has gone up too. So like over the last 6 games, got 6 catches, 60 yards on average, and he's getting 2 carries, and he's been pretty effective running the football. So like I do expect y'all to have. Yeah, he was about to say. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Y'all gonna put Konayamo Bay, whatever y'all call it.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, so it's gonna be speed on speed, basically. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Hollywood Brown, he's just now getting into the fold a little bit. He barely played this year because he got hurt in the preseason. He had to miss most of the time. But at the end of the day, man, I think he'll have an opportunity, maybe some opportunities, maybe in a slot. I know he'll probably draw Darius Slay some, but so it's gonna be tough. But Andy Reid can design some stuff to get him involved. So
We love Big Red over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge Big Red fan, except for when he plays the Eagles. But like even like Miss Red said, Miss Ash says like Oren is not the same guy from last year getting thrown into the middle of the Super Bowl when your stars he was a backup there. He's a starter now. He's been starting the whole playoffs. So it's not like he's coming off the bench into a big game. Of course, you're gonna get burned toast coming off the bench in a big game. This guy's been studying, guys, and you guess what? He has that in the back of his mind too. These motherfuckers toasted me last time. I'm not gonna let them toast me this year. He's actually been really good in coverage throughout this whole playoff. He hasn't really gave up anything since the Kobe Dean went down. He's been like in there like Kobe never left. You know what I'm saying? He's been dependable in coverage. He's been making big plays, fumbles, and like big plays on defense. So it's just like I think you guys do look at him as the Oren Burks of last year, and he's definitely not that guy that's going into this game.
Well, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if he learned his lesson from last year. I mean, I dare y'all to run that back. We'll take that matchup all day long.
But see, the only thing with Kelce, man. All right, so Zach Ertz, man. Last game he had a good game, right? Versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he didn't get a lot of yak, right? It was catch the ball, tackle, catch the ball, tackle. I feel like that Patrick Mahomes, in order to stop all these playmakers, is to get to Patrick Mahomes often and early. And that's going to be the key because Andy Reid knows how to design these stupid gadget plays. I would have played any other team besides the Chiefs because of Andy Reid, because the scheme that he does is crazy. Anywhere from having Kelce and freaking man, what's the other guy? We didn't even mention his name, Hopkins, right? You know what I mean? Like Kelce and Hopkins in the back. I mean, this is going to be a battle of who could make adjustments, who's cooking who, and how fast could you adjust? Because Hopkins is there, Brown, Worthy, and Juju. Y'all got a lot of playmakers now that y'all didn't have last time we played the Kansas City.
And even the backup tight end Watson.
A healthier Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? So overall, it's going to be a chess match, but like who can make, the best moves at the end.
Miss Ash, I find that funny that you made that comment because I know what Vic Fangio is. I've seen this dude multiple times. Like he's kind of like Spags in a way. Like the first drive, they want to fill you out. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't gonna come with a real game plan to start out. They just want to see what you're gonna do first, and then they'll adjust. As the game goes along, starting with the second drive. So like, I already know how Fangio gonna come out the first drive. We gotta take advantage of that because I've seen like he ran a lot of cover one, and he'll mix some quarters in between too. So I mean, he does a lot of that to begin the game. So
Fangio's OG. He doesn't do anything consistently. You know what I'm saying? He sets up his defense up, against the opponents he's going against. That's what it's going to be. And Fangio, you can say you watched him on Denver, Miami last year. It's not the same defense. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the same players those year. We got Zach Bond. He turned from a special team ace to the goddamn first team All-Pro linebacker, which we did not have an All-Pro linebacker the first time or the second time we played you guys. Talk to me a little bit about Zach Bond and what you're worried about him with, because he gonna shut a lot of that shit down.
I mean, that sounds good. Before I get to him, man, I mean, like you mentioned, we got Hopkins, we got Kareem and Pop, man. And I know Pop ain't really been healthy. I mean, hopefully he'll surprise us this time, but I expect Kareem Hunt to be the main guy as a running back. But speaking of Zach Bond, man, here's the thing: if you're gonna erase Travis Kelce, I mean, you gotta worry about Noah Gray too. And we ain't really used Noah Gray in the playoffs for real. And Noah Gray had a hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? Like when Travis Kelce wasn't getting the end zone that much, it'll be Noah Gray. I mean, Noah Gray had a 2-touchdown game twice, like 2 weeks in a row one time. So at the end of the day, like you're gonna erase Travis Kelce, he gonna find an opening against whoever's guarding Noah Gray or whoever's not even paying attention to him. So it is what it is. Like I said, pick your poison. We got one of the best tight end rooms in the league.
The thing with the Eagles is they only like a lot of times rush 4 and drop 7, right? I mean, anytime you do that, you have to get to the quarterback. Or if Patrick Mahomes decide to throw, I mean, if you have 7 guys dropping back, it's a lot of, what I mean? That gives you opportunity for mistakes back there. So regardless if it's Hopkins or, somebody, like it's going to be a lot of traffic, right? When there's traffic, the ball pop up, things happen. So I like the fact that we could get pressure with the front 4. And another thing that the Eagles do well too, they also adjust. If we can't really get pressure with the front 4, all of a sudden they put 5-man, right? And now Jalen Carter, he's not getting double teamed no more. Or, Nolan Smith, he's starting to find his sea leg, 4 sacks in the playoffs alone. I mean, first time in Eagles history that happened. So we got some young guys with some fresh legs that could get after Patrick Mahomes to, eliminate one of those, weapons y'all have. So,
yeah, because like here's the thing, man. Let me ask y'all this. I mean, how are y'all against like, bunch formation and pre-snap motion? How are y'all against that type of offense?
We're number 1 in there.
Okay. I mean, I know y'all know
we are. We're the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, my guy.
I get
and top 5 rushing defense in the NFL. That's why we're the number 1 defense in the NFL. We stop everything. You can't run on us, you can't pass on us, you can't score on us. And that's the biggest difference between last time around and this time around. Even last time when we beat you guys and this time around, is our defense is elite. They're legit. Big Fangio's way better than he's ever coached in any other place because he's back at home in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? He's coaching his fucking ass off right now. He's scheming up things that we ain't never even seen before with our defense. I don't even recall the last time the Eagles were number 1 in overall defense, if you want to go back to like the 90s or something.
I get that.
But also going back to the pre-snap motion, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, they man up a lot. Well, I mean, they don't man up a lot. Let's just say that Cooper DeJean, he follows, right? If he's playing the nickel, he will definitely chase whoever is. But our linebackers, they really feed off each other. They just pass that along. Like they're not chasing the running back. Let's just say the running back going to the backfield. Like they just say, okay, you move there, I'll take your spot. let's go from there. There's not a lot of confusion when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagle defense. They're a very simple defense, you know what I mean, to look at. But the problem is the back seven, like they talk so much that they communicate very well that there's not a lot of movement going on, but everything is covered. Regardless if it's pre-snap, you're not going to see a lot of different shifts at all. It's just like you pass on that way, I stay right here. We're good. We're set because they are able to cover whoever it is. I mean, that's one thing I like about this defense, right? They're not so confused all the time. So, but go ahead. I know you had something else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like, we're so good at recognizing whether it's man or zone, pre-snap, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to talk. And you guys mentioned, like, you guys, y'all done a good job communicating on the back end. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I'm on ranked defense, all that. I get that. But it's just a different animal when you got to figure out going against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And now he got weapons in comparison to when we played y'all 2 years ago. Like, it's tough. And I understand y'all secondary is better too, but I don't know. Sometimes good offense beats good defense.
Yeah. And I was watching a Chief game and they kept calling it out. There was like when Patrick Mahomes see two high safeties, I think he checking to a run. If he see one safety, he throws. So if I'm watching the Chiefs from my couch and I know what Patrick Mahomes' tendencies are, imagine what Vic Fangio could see, right? I mean, because I don't get paid to disguise defenses. So, but I heard that and I started watching the Bills. I'm like, oh, shoot, he about to check into a run. Oh, shoot, he about to pass. And it was happening. So if you Vic Fangio and you know that Patrick Mahomes, why not play a little game with him, right? You know what I mean? Just make believe is one high safety, hurry up, rush it back, because you already know his tendencies. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't talk about this earlier. Vic Fangio has been basically one of the best, if not the best, at, you know, like keeping our offense in check as far as scheming and stuff. It's just that, like, the question is, with your guys, Quinyon and Cooper DeJean, like, you know, are they going to, if they somehow make a mistake, they make a slight mistake, are they going to be able to recover? Are they going to have like the range, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to be on point with depth as far as like, you know, knowing how to plant, you know what I'm saying? Like after that backpedal, like, can you break on the ball? Even if you make a mistake, like, can you recover? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you able to read? Can you get a read on what Patrick is looking at during the play? So it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Listen. I got something to say about that too. Hey, but first, shout out to the 140 up in here. Make sure you hit that like on all platforms, man. Salute to all you guys. We much love to you guys watching The Truth with JC and BIRDGANG. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of you guys on Twitter. I don't know if you guys can comment, but we would like to see y'all comments as well. Y'all are going deep right now. And if not, then jump over to the YouTube guy, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and make a comment on our regular page there, because we are live on JC's channel, my channel, and BGN. So go ahead and do what you gotta do on there. But to get to your point there, my guy, do you not know that both of these guys you just talked about, you know, Cooper DeJean, right, and Quinyon Mitchell, both of these guys are in running for Defensive Player Rookie of the Year. Both of them. You know how many touchdowns these guys? They've given up out of like 20 games. These guys have given up like 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. 2. A whole football season. If you think I am at least worried, you know, the type of talent we'd already played already to where I was like, damn, they might get their ass. The Rams alone, you got Puka and Cup, my guy. You know, those guys out there ball together. Not against these guys. These are different rookies, my guy. If you think about all the guys the Eagles just brought in, right? You got an all-pro Zach, and he helps out in terms of coverage because he's a very good coverage linebacker. You got Saquon doing this thing on offense, you know, all pro. And then you got the 2 defensive rookies of the year. 2 of them. They should split the award this year, to be honest with you. Because these guys are shut down. They make plays. They stopped being rookies after the first week of the season. And then for Cooper DeJean, it was like the 5th week of the season, you know, because he was out the first couple of weeks. After that, these guys have been locked down. They two should be first rounders. No Q was a first rounder. DeJean dropped down because they didn't know what time it was with him or whatever injury, whatnot. But both of these are showing why they are high caliber players, man. Like, so all that stuff you talk about these guys, like, I don't even like how the conversation going, like, oh, we got to worry about anything. Because at the end of the day, we don't got to worry about shit. Y'all got to worry about all these problems. You know what I'm saying? We bringing the problems to y'all. Y'all got to worry, but y'all have not played one team on your schedule this year as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. Not one. Not one good as good as defense as us, and not one as good as offense as us. Not one. I don't care about the Ravens. The Ravens got a great quarterback, great running back, great tight end. Our line is better. Our receivers are better than the Ravens, but our running back's even better than both of those guys. Our running back duo of Saquon and Jalen is better than Lamar and your boy over there, Derrick Henry. So last week I looked at what Josh Allen and the Cooks were doing to you guys. The Bills are just dumb as hell for stopping running the football. They went to this whole pass happy thing, which they don't have the receivers to be doing like that. Even though shout out to John Hollins, that's his name, ex-Eagle.
Matt Hollins.
Matt Hollins, ex-Eagle.
Ex-Eagle.
Balling out. He's balling. I'm like, why couldn't you ball out like this with the Eagles, my God? Why could you ball out like opportunities? But he didn't, like you said, he didn't have the opportunity or whatnot. But I'm just saying, like, all your marbles is going to get put into Saquon. You know what really kills teams is they put all their marbles and stop at Saquon. But just like Washington last week, when he pops out the first play of the game or the first quarter of the game and runs a 67, like y'all act like this man's not doing shit that's never been done in life. Never of watching football 1 year have you ever seen that. I remember seeing the stats showing that only 4 players even had like multiple 60-yard run touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He was like 4 there, but the best was like 4 in a whole season. 4 60-yard. He had that against one team, and then he had 4 more. You know what I'm saying? Putting on top of that, this guy is doing things that's never been done because he got the line and the offense has never been put together. You know what I'm saying? Like, soon as Saquon breaks your will, because that's what he does, he breaks your will. You think you're in a game, and he breaks it because it just takes that one. You look at the first 2 quarters, maybe he don't break it, but we got the biggest offensive line in football, my God, like the biggest, baddest, toughest. 2 All-Pro, 3 Pro Bowlers, whatever they want to say, like 2 and 2, whatever it was. But even the one that didn't go, Becton, should have been a damn Pro Bowler at least this year because he balled out this year. He's been bullying people all damn year long. So you can't. I know you guys got Chris Jones over there, and I know Kaloftis, whatever the boy's name is. I know you guys that's 2 players for 5 All-Pro, Pro Bowl linemen. You know what I'm saying? These aren't just your everyday linemen. These guys are coming, and they're bigger than all your guys. And that's another thing that was a bigger problem. A lot of these, run-stopping defenses, they go against other offensive lines that's not this big. These are the biggest offensive line in football. I mean, no matter what, you might be doing good with your speed or whatnot, strength, whatnot, the first 2 quarters. But when you got 360, 340 pounds on your ass for fucking 30 minutes, now that's when it gets crazy, and that's when you get wore out, and it just takes that one split second for Saquon to break that will.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, man, I mean, it's gonna be tough to get that home run from Saquon. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna make it tough. I'm not saying I'm gonna get his stats, but we're gonna make it tough on him. He's gonna have to earn it.
But the thing is, like, I don't want a home run threat. Like, I don't want that home run.
But that's how I get amped up. That's how the team gets amped up.
No. That's not
true. The first jab play again.
The Eagles had, man, what was it? Versus the Rams, a 15-play drive. I mean, no, versus the Ravens, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, the Ravens
like a 10-minute play drive, whatever it was. The best defense is to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. So, yes, they do not get hemmed up for 60. Yes, do you like it? Absolutely. But that's not what get the team hemmed up. Keeping your defense on the field, first down after first down after first down, that is what makes everybody, both offense and defense, amped up. So I don't know who told you that's what get the team amped up, but sustaining drives, controlling the ball is what get this Philadelphia Eagles team going. Yes, those home run threats are cool. Yes, Eagles lead the league in most explosive plays, through the air and on the ground. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff to stop. But would I rather a good drive, a 10-play, 12-play, 15-minute drive, I'll take the whole quarter? Absolutely. I take that any day besides that home run.
But the difference is, if we had the same defense in 22, that home run would be not beneficial for us. But since we got the defense that we have, teams are not scoring after you do anything. That's why we keep pulling away so far on all these teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got the number one defense sitting there behind. So if Saquon go out there, hell, they hated it last week when he went out there first play and ran that touchdown, but they got back out there and they did their damn job. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the defense to really complement Saquon's home run hitting, and that's the reason why we won so many football games this year.
All right, so yeah, let's go and get to some score predictions or whatever, man.
Okay, let's go. 3 hot takes. Score prediction. 3 hot takes and score prediction. You can go ahead first, Mr. Kansas City.
All right, so as far as my score prediction, man, I've been back and forth with this. I just know it's gonna be a 3-point victory again. It's gonna be a high scoring game again. So I'm thinking 33-30 or 34-31. That's how I've been looking at it this entire time.
And your 3 keys of victory.
All right, so my 3 keys of victory. Number 1, winning the turnover battle. If we can force Jalen Hurts or somehow get Saquon to throw the ball, whatever it takes, special teams, whatever it takes, we got to win the turnover battle. So that's 1. Number 2, man, definitely got to be disciplined up front, because, I mean, not to really go back on this for real, but you just never know how the game's going to be officiated for either team. So being disciplined is key, especially on the offensive line, because we're going against a tough, elite defensive line. Jalen Carter, like, he's the second best defense tackle in the league right now. And I'm going to say that. And I know it's true because this is the truth. And Chris Jones is the best D tackle in the league. So anyhow, we got to deal with that. Jordan Davis, he a dog too. Noah Smith, he a dog. I mean, that's 3 Georgia Bulldogs right there. Milton Williams. I'm sure I'm missing one of the guys.
Morrow or Jomo.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat.
Josh Sweat.
We've been lighting it up these playoffs.
Yeah, y'all guys are tough up front. So we definitely got to hold our own that offensive line. I think if we do that, we got some opportunities to maybe get like an explosive player or 2 that can change the course of the game. 3rd key is field position, man. Like I said earlier, like I feel like there's some areas we can take advantage to where we can get decent field position, and when we got in decent field position, we've been able to score, without any issues for real. So I know there's 3 keys right there, but one other key I want to hit on is this is the one thing that's been bugging my team all season long. It's the 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter has not been our quarter all season long. So we got this one game right here, we got to be a lot better in the 3rd quarter. If we can do that, we should be straight. So.
All right. So my key.
We got to do hot takes. I guess go ahead. Give me 3 hot takes.
Hot take. My fault.
Give me 3 hot takes.
Oh man. You said 3 or just 1?
3 hot takes.
Okay. 1, DeAndre Hopkins is really getting slept on, man. Like, listen, I know his snap count has gone down. Like, he went from 16 to 12 over the playoffs, but if the Eagles are not careful, they could be in for a surprise. I mean, this is the first time he's been this far in the playoffs. This is the Super Bowl. You never know what he's going to do after the season. Like, if he goes out and gets a ring, you never know. He might retire going on top. I know he's been dealing with a knee injury too, but I just feel like you guys might be in for a surprise. You may see Vengeance D-Hop in this one. So I think D-Hop scores. He at least gets a touchdown in this one. He's definitely going to fly over that receiving yards prop. I think it was at 13 the last time I checked, 13.5. I feel like that's mad disrespect for a guy that's a 3-time All-Pro. So there's a hot take right there. The second hot take, man. Let's see here. The second hot take, I'll say this, man. I feel like I feel like Xavier Worthy can get 100 yards of total offense again. That's my second hot take for this one. I know y'all defense is tough. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't give up that many passing yards in the passing game. It was like that, the past few times in this matchup. But I just feel like the way we've been using Xavier and the way our chemistry has been with Xavier, like he can do that combined receiving and rushing. And I mean, that's how I see it. The way he's been rolling and clicking, I mean, that's my second hot take right there. So he'll have his second straight 100 yards of total offense game. The third hot take, man, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, he is making up for lost time. He knows the opportunity that he missed out on early in this Chiefs run. He had a little incident in the hotel, off the field and stuff, but he's gone through the storm. The Chiefs gave him another opportunity. He's taking a great advantage of it. And I think in this one, it wouldn't be surprised me if he found the end zone twice. So that would be my third hot take. Kareem Hunt scores 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. It writes off the storybook ending. So
that was what I expected from a Chiefs fan to say, and what I expect from the Chiefs. Y'all scared. Y'all scared. I just scared. That didn't sound very hot. Okay, that doesn't sound very hot at all. That sounds pretty average. You're hoping that some things might happen for you in life. You're saying your prayers to Jesus. You're doing your thing, whatever, trying to pray that some of these things can happen. Let me tell you about hot takes, my guy. And I'm gonna give you 3. And they're going to be on the money Super Bowl hot takes. You might as well bookmark this right now because they're definitely going to happen. Because JC, he already had his premonition week, and it's time for BIRDGANG to give you his premonition week in the Super Bowl. Hot take. Your boy Patty Mahomes gets 3 turnovers and less than 250 yards in the Super Bowl. My God. Okay? 2 hot takes. Jalen Hurts will have 3 touchdowns and over 300 combined yards against you, right? And my third hot take is Saquon Barkley running for 250 on your ass. He's gonna break the record. He's gonna put the record so far out of the galaxy, and we might be sitting players in the 4th damn quarter. Eagles win. 49-17. Super Bowl blowout, baby.
You better at this than me. With the hot taste, apparently. Oh, man. That was great. Go ahead, JC. Go ahead.
All right. So my first hot take is, man, if the Eagles hold the Chief under 80 yards rushing, that's happening. Pacheco, Dorito. It doesn't matter who's running the ball. The Philadelphia Eagles do not let people rush on them. So that's one thing right there. My second hot take is Jalen Carter get 2 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. Because I think either he's going to get a sack or holding call penalty, whatever it is. But Jalen Carter is about to rack forced fumble, sack, 2 sacks on Patrick Mahomes by himself. So forced fumble, 2 sacks for Jalen Carter. My third hot take is Jalen Hurts will be Super Bowl MVP. He's going to put on another masterful piece. Not only throw for 250 on the ground, but he's going to have 100 yards rushing. So total 350 total yards. That's hot take, all right? So for score prediction, I feel like this game right here is going to be a 10-point game. 10-point game. I see this game being 34-24 Eagles.
Woo! I like that too. Mine's a little more spicy because it's the truth. But yours is almost the truth, my guy. I like it. But hey, man, it's been a pleasure, my guy. Mr. 3P. That ain't gonna happen. So you need to change that little dang down there because that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come back next week, we can talk about it, what happened with 3P, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We can do that as well. But hey, let everybody know where they can find you at and what you're gonna be doing for Super Bowl and whatnot, things like that.
All right, so you can find me on Kingdom Cast with 2 Ks. Right now, they got an episode with my guys at Tell the Truth. That's the second show on our platform. They currently talking about the Super Bowl matchup. So you can catch us over there once we get up out of here. I know Kingdom Cast, the main platform, we'll have a show this Thursday. We have a special guest for that. So it might be a former Eagle. It might be a former guy that used to play for both of our teams. So stay tuned for that. But as far as like my Super Bowl plans, man, I'll be here in Kansas City watching it. Just haven't decided where, but yeah, that's the plan for my Super Bowl Sunday.
Wait, LaShawn McCoy?
Nah, I ain't shady.
It's not Carson Wentz.
Mm-mm.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
That should be a really hot take. By the third quarter, Carson Wentz will be playing in his very first Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
That's
go Inferno with it.
That's my new hot take. Carson will be in his, first Super Bowl plan because the Chiefs are getting their ass blown the fuck out, and Carson will be in there the fourth quarter to say he got a ring, but he actually played in the Super Bowl, baby. Yeah, y'all give him a love. Carson Wentz. God.
You know what? I didn't give a hot take for defense. I got to give the defense some love. So here's my hot take for the defense. Leo Chanel is going to force a fumble and return it back for a touchdown. That's my hot take for the defense.
Who's that?
Both. He's our linebacker.
Here you go with these no-name players, man. You confuse me.
Oh, you'll know who he is by the time the game over with.
Leo who? Come on, guy.
Specialist.
He had more better saying. You should have said Chris Jones is going to hit stick fumble. Jalen Hurts pick it up and score. Then I'd be like, oh, that's a hot take. That's a hot take. But Leo Chanel, who the hell is this guy? And why he's not even going to have his name announced one time in the whole damn Super Bowl.
All right, we're going to see. You're going to know who that is. You're going to know who that is when the game starts, Dion. You're going to know who he is throughout the course of the game.
Oh, man, that's funny.
But hey, guys, thank you again for watching. We're going to hit you guys out with some Eagle love for sure and give you a little bit of Eagle mentality. Like I always say at the end of my videos, fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles,
and we are winning this jump, my guys.
It's okay to look yourself in the mirror and let yourself know that you are that guy. You are that, you know what.
Money is nice. Championships are better.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying.
Is there any corner that when they line up that you're like, he might have the edge on me?
One-on-one?
Yeah.
Nobody.
If you just catch the ball, your finger don't get dislocated.
But I had like this hate in my heart.
I don't remember.
Going on, everybody, man, and welcome to the very